Hello, and a very warm welcome to another episode of Let's Learn English. I am Jessica, and as always, I am absolutely thrilled to be here with you today. If you are looking for practical, real-world ways to boost your English confidence while having a bit of fun, you have definitely come to the right place.
Hey everyone, Daniel here, and I could not agree more with Jessica. Today, we're tackling a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and honestly, something that even native speakers find a bit tricky at times. We're talking about how to make friends and start conversations in English.
Oh, absolutely, Daniel. It is one thing to study English grammar from a textbook or listen to a podcast alone in your room, but actually walking up to someone, opening your mouth and starting a conversation, that can feel downright terrifying, even if you have been studying for years.
It really can. Your heart starts racing, your palms get sweaty, and suddenly you forget every single vocabulary word you've ever learned. But don't worry, listeners, because today Jessica and I are going to break down this process into super simple, actionable steps that you can start using today. We will cover icebreakers, how to keep the conversation flowing naturally, and how to handle those inevitable moments when you get stuck.
Yes, and we want to hear from you too. But first, let's dive into our very first phase, the approach. Daniel, when you're in a social setting, maybe a coffee shop, a networking event, or even just waiting in a long line, how do you take that very first step to talk to someone?
Well, Jessica, I think the biggest secret is to start small and use your environment. You do not need to walk up to someone and deliver a massive, profound speech. In fact, please don't do that. Instead, look around you. Is there something interesting happening? Is the weather beautiful or maybe incredibly rainy? Is the coffee shop playing a really cool song?
Ooh, I love that. Using the environment is so natural. It feels much less forced than just walking up and saying, "Hello, let us converse." For example, if you're standing in a long line at a bakery, you could easily turn to the person next to you and say, "Wow, this line is crazy today, isn't it?" Or, "Have you tried their croissants before? I hear they're amazing."
Exactly. It's low pressure because you're commenting on a shared experience. You both are waiting in that same long line. Another great tool in your conversation toolkit is a genuine compliment. People absolutely love compliments. If you see someone with a cool t-shirt, a nice pair of shoes, or an interesting book, say something.
Right on, Danielle. But here's a quick tip for our listeners. If you give a compliment, try to follow it up with a quick question. If you just say, "I love your jacket," the other person might just say, "Oh, thank you," and then silence. Awkward. But if you say, "I love your jacket, where did you get it?" now you have invited them to speak.
That is such a gold nugget of advice, Jessica. That follow-up question is the key that unlocks the door. It turns a one-way statement into a two-way bridge. But let's say they answer your question. They say, "Oh, thanks. I got it at a vintage market downtown." Now, how do we keep that conversation going? How do we avoid the dreaded awkward silence?
This is where we transition into what I like to call active listening and the ping-pong rule. Think of a conversation like a game of ping-pong. If I hit the ball to you, you have to hit it back. You can't just catch the ball and hold on to it. When someone answers your question, you want to react to what they said, share a tiny bit of information about yourself, and then hit the ball back with another question.
I love the ping pong analogy. Let's play it out. If they say, "I got it at a vintage market downtown," I could say, "Oh, nice. I love vintage shopping, though I usually end up just buying old records. Do you go to that market often?" See what I did there? I reacted with, "Oh, nice," shared a little about my record buying habit, and asked a new question.
That was perfect, Daniel. It feels so natural and organic. And did you notice how you asked an open-ended question? That's another huge secret. Open-ended questions are questions that cannot be answered with a simple yes or no. They require a bit more explanation, which gives you more material to work with.
Yes, definitely. Instead of asking, "Do you like living here?" which just gets a yes or no, you could ask, "What is your favorite thing about living in this city?" That forces them to share a specific story or a favorite spot, and suddenly you have 5 new topics you can talk about.
Exactly. If they say, "Oh, I love the local parks, especially the one by the river," you can instantly ask about the river, or talk about how you love jogging, or ask if they have any recommendations. The conversation branches out like a tree. It's beautiful when it starts happening naturally.
Now, Jessica, let's address the elephant in the room. A lot of our listeners on Let's Learn English might be thinking, sure, this sounds easy for you guys, but my English isn't perfect. What if I make a mistake? What if I say the wrong word and they look at me like I'm crazy?
Oh, I hear you, and that fear is so incredibly valid. But let me share a secret with all of you. Most native speakers, or even other English learners you're talking to, are not grammar teachers. They're not standing there with a red pen ready to grade your prepositions. They just want to connect with you.
That is so true. In fact, making a small mistake or showing a little vulnerability can actually make you more relatable. If you get stuck on a word, you can just smile and say, "Oh, my brain just forgot the English word for this. It's that yellow fruit monkeys eat." And the other person will laugh and say, "A banana?" And boom, you just bonded over a laugh.
Yes. Honestly, being open about the fact that you're learning is like a superpower. You can literally say, "Sorry, I'm still practicing my English. Could you say that again?" Most people will instantly soften, speak a little slower, and become even more supportive. It shows courage, and people respect courage.
They really do. So don't let the fear of being imperfect stop you from connecting with amazing people. Now, another fantastic tool for starting conversations is finding common ground. Jessica, what are some of the most universal topics that almost anyone can talk about?
Well, food is definitely number one. Everyone eats, and most people have strong opinions about what they love. You can talk about local restaurants, your favorite home-cooked meals, or even ask for recommendations. Another great one is hobbies, or how people spend their free time. Asking, "What do you like to do when you're not working?" is a fantastic way to see what makes someone light up.
Ooh, that's a great question. It's much better than the standard, "What do you do for work?" Because some people don't like talking about their jobs, but almost everyone loves talking about their passions, whether it's hiking, playing video games, or baking sourdough bread.
Yes, and remember, the goal of starting a conversation isn't to be the most interesting person in the room, it's to be the most interested person. If you show genuine curiosity about the other person, they'll walk away from the conversation thinking you're an amazing conversationalist, even if you only spoke 30% of the time.
Wow, that's a powerful mindset shift, Jessica. Be interested, not just interesting. I love that. Well, as we start to wind down today's episode, let's summarize some of our key takeaways for our amazing Let's Learn English family.
Let's do it. First, start small by observing your shared environment or giving a genuine compliment. Second, use the ping-pong rule, react, share a tiny detail about yourself, and ask an open-ended question to throw the ball back. And third, embrace your mistakes. Your English doesn't have to be perfect to make a meaningful connection.
Perfect summary. My challenge to all of you listening today is to try just one of these techniques this week. Just one. Compliment someone's coffee order, ask an open-ended question to a coworker, or just share a smile. You'll be amazed at how warm the world can be when you take that first step.
We'd love to hear how it goes. Drop a comment, rate our show, or subscribe to Let's Learn English. Your support means the absolute world to us, and it helps us keep creating these episodes for you.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us today. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone. Happy conversing.